What's going on, Diablo 2 fans? Dobrensky here. In today's video, I'm going to do a two-part series on the new fire TRAPSIN. So I use the word new very loosely. They've changed some of the damage synergies for the fire TRAPSIN. They've also introduced some new level 85 areas. So I thought it'd be a cool opportunity to cover this build and then show off a extreme budget variant and then a high-end variant so you guys can kind of see both ends of the spectrum. This will be a viable character to play early on with very horrible gear, and that's what the first portion of this video is going to be. But first I'll go over the attributes, skill tree, and then we'll do some gameplay. Now, the gear skill tree is obviously going to change with the more expensive setup, but I'm not going to dive into it twice, so you'll get kind of a basic idea when I go over here. So, currently just max vitality. I'm level 94. Okay, not a true budget test. Just imagine a little bit less plus life, okay? I don't feel like respeccing for the video. But the gear will represent budget. So just max vitality. You'd want to take maybe 40 life off of here. 40 points. So maybe I'd have like 1,200 life. It is what it is. For the skill tree, I have 100 point into Claw Mastery, 100 point into Burst of Speed. And then for traps, I have everything put into Fire Tree. So 20 yard into Fire Blast, 20 yard into Wake of Fire, 20 yard points into Wake of Inferno. And then I'm also using Death Sentry. And then at this point, I just put extra points into Lightning Sentry because it boosts the damage of Death Sentry, and then it also boosts the Fire Blast damage. So this is a very budget gear, very budget character with 900 Fire Blast damage, 420 Wake of Fire damage, with a little bit extra life. I apologize for not emulating that perfectly, but so the gear, ignore what's in my inventory. I am using a garbage shopped Magic Claw that gives 1 to Wake of Fire. Pair that with the Runeward Lore, 1 skills, Lightning Res, Nokazon's Amulet, Stealth, Ancient's Pledge, Random Rare Boots, Random Magic Ring, Random Rare Belt, Random Rare Ring, and Random Rare Glove. Mercenary is using Treachery with nothing else. Might Aura, Holy Freeze would probably even be better, but we're going pure budget, where I want to show off a new area that you can magic find that's actually a pretty viable place to MF. This is a new level 85 area in Act 2 called the Stoney Tombs. Marius, thank you very much for the Prime Gaming sub, my dude. So the whole point of this video is to just show that you can jump into this new level 85 area that has no fire immunes, and you can do completely fine. Like, you won't have any issues. I wouldn't recommend using Wake of Inferno. I'm not going to bother covering it, but you just place your traps carefully. Dog shit gear. You can clear this level 85 area. Mercenary doesn't even have a helmet, doesn't even have a weapon. He's just carrying Treachery. There's a lot of lightning minions here, but we're using Death Sentry after we've gotten a kill with Wake of Fire. So you could easily run this area over and over and over again instead of Moat Tricking Mephisto if you don't want to play as a sorceress. Like, Mercenary is like, look at the Merc. Holy Freeze Aura would probably be better, would probably give you more support. As long as you just hang back, drop Wake of Fire, and then Death Sentry just clears up the rest of the room. You could easily rock like a Treachery, Insight, Bow, Act 1 Rogue, Freezing Arrow support. I don't even have... We're not going to give him a potion, hardly. We're trying to see if he'll die. You could use the Runeward Rhyme and a shield for Cannot Be Frozen. That way you wouldn't be running around slower. That's just a shale and an Eth. You can easily get that in Nightmare difficulty.
You have quite a treasure there.
Glymph!
Fire TRAPSIN off brick.
We're showing off a budget fire trapper in today's video, buddy. See right that, just something like that, shale and Eth, you'd have cannot be frozen. Oh, if it wasn't a paladin shield, what am I thinking? I'm confused. This is Glymph confused me. I'm gonna blame it on Glymph. But for a magic claw, lore, ancient sludge, and stealth, that's basically anything that you could easily make in Nightmare, and you can clear this level 85 area. So you get the idea. I guess I'll just quickly fill out. The reason I liked having the mercenary is because he would kind of aggro some of those for you. So there, you guys get the idea. That's very budget. I don't think you could go much more budget than that, and you can completely clear an intro level 85 area in Act 2, a new one for patch 2.4. So now we'll jump to a more high-end variant, and then we'll do some Icy Cellar stuff, and get an idea if you want to go endgame Fire Trapper. Okay, so this is the high-end variant version, so I have just Torch and Annie, more plus skills like Hodo, Spirit, Enigma. So the changes for the fire tree in terms of damage, at about 1500 with 5 shots and Wake of Fire. Now, the issue that I have is I don't know if that's enough damage for level 46. And it does have really good AoE, but again, that's just Wake of Fire on its own. Like, I'm not using Death Sentry or Fire Blast. I just don't know if that's enough damage for being level 46. I mean, it'll be better on playthroughs and stuff like that, but I feel like for endgame, it's just not quite enough damage. Fornex, thank you very much for the 5 months. Thank you. Now, with that being said, there is definitely other things you can do with the build. Like, you have 6,700 Fire Blast, and you can intermittently have Death Sentry. I don't think Wake of... I don't even have it hotkey, but I don't think Wake of Inferno is a very good spell. Let me get set up with... It's just a weird one, too. With the way that it targets and aims, like, I just feel like this build is more like we're just using Wake of Fire, Death Sentry, and Fire Blast. I just think that's the best way to kind of play the build spec. I don't even have that set up. There we go. So this is a new area. So, the Icy Cellar. This is a new level 85 area that has no fire immunes. Kind of nasty, though. It has souls and dulls, so it's not, like, an area I would recommend MFing with, like, a brand new character. And I don't know what the best combo is, if you should maybe be doing, like, 3 and 2. Maybe 2 and 3, like, between Wake of Fire and Death Sentry. I'm not really sure what's the best. As long as you have some of each, and then you just use Fire Blast in between, I think it's pretty good. See, this is what I mean. Like, you have souls and dolls. This is only players 1. I might do another run at P3. But again, I think like a lot of it, maybe the reason they were kind of hesitant on pumping up Wake of Fire is just because of how powerful Death Sentry is, which that makes sense. It's like I almost think that with this build, you could probably get the same results just using Fire Blast and Death Sentry. That is players 1. I'll repeat it and we'll do P3. Maybe I'll do P8. The problem I found with P8 though, Inhale, is that Mercenary just has trouble surviving. Like souls and dolls and stuff blowing up his face and the harpies, he just has trouble staying alive. Go to P3. But P3, the damage felt pretty good. Ellie! Yeah, maybe I'm crazy. I just don't see the practicality of using Wake of Inferno. Other than maybe, like, you run into really powerful single target boss, and you want to drop a bunch of Wake of Infernos around. At least you have areas where you can MF with a fire TRAPSIN now. I would say largely Diablo, yeah. It's mostly Fire Blast. I think Death Sentry that's carrying the build. It's 1600 damage. I don't know quite how effective just Wake of Inferno is on its own, but I mean, if you add all 3 in rotation, Fire Blast, Death Sentry. I mean, I'm not even using Cloak of Shadows and stuff like that. This is kind of a video just thrown together. That was pretty good for P3. If you jump up to P8, like, Mercenary just dies. He just can't handle this area. I guess I'll do one P8 run, but if anything I would tweak, I would maybe focus less on Wake of Inferno and a little bit more Wake of Fire, but it's a tough balance because, like you guys kind of said, Wake of Fire is probably just being carried by the Corpse Explosion from Death Sentry and then just damage from Fire Blast. And Wake of Fire is just there on the screen looking cool, but I don't know how much damage it's actually doing. So P8, guarantee a Mercenary is going to die. If the Mercenary dies, the run kind of dies. So maybe I should take back my point on, maybe you should just leave Wake of Inferno the way Wake of Fire the way it is, just because Death Sentry. If you're gonna make Wake of Fire stronger, you can't really have super powerful Death Sentry either. But this area is just pure nasty. Like souls, amp damage. That's why I don't like farming this on Players 8. So you get this is a nasty area to farm on Players 8. I would stick to Players 1 or 3, but that's the Fire TRAPSIN, guys. Overall, the damage buff to Wake of Fire isn't too crazy, but you do have Death Sentry to carry it. Wake of Inferno, just funny targeting. I don't think it's a great skill, but maybe for Diablo or something, but this will be an interesting build. You guys could farm like Stoney Tombs, Resurrected's Lair, the Icy Cellar. It's more viable, but I still think just due to the nature of immunities, I think a regular lightning trap is better. But again, let me know in the comment section below if you guys agree or disagree. Yeah, if you could throw a like on the video, it'd be awesome. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.